Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Norris. You're free to go. All right, state, who's your next witness?
Kemia Bentley. Kemia Bentley.
All right, this is going to be another witness who has requested that her identity not be broadcast.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this house will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay, very good. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Please state your full name for the record.
Kemia Bentley
Miss Bentley, where did you grow up?
in St. Augustine.
Did you also hang out in Jacksonville at times?
Yes.
Did you have family and friends that lived in Jacksonville?
Yes.
Now, I want to talk to you about June of 2024. Back then, did you have a friend by the name of Aliyah Albritton?
Yes.
How long had you known Aliyah Albritton?
For a while.
Did you plan to do a girls' trip with her for the weekend of June 21st of 2024?
Yes.
Who else was going to be involved in this girls' weekend?
It was just me, Aaliyah, and it was supposed to be another one of our friends
And where were you supposed to go for this weekend trip?
here in Tampa.
And did you come to Tampa on that Friday, June 21st of 2024?
Yes.
Where were you going to stay?
At my friend's house.
Did you go there on that day?
I did.
At some point, did you meet up with Aliyah Albritton?
I did.
Tell us how that happened.
Well, we came together.
And where did she live in Jacksonville at the time?
Yes.
And where were you living at that time?
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine. And how was it that you came together?
We just been friends for a while. We knew each other from social media and through other people.
I meant together to Tampa. Did
Together
she
to
come?
Tampa.
Yes. Did she come pick you up?
Yes.
Okay. And in whose vehicle did she come pick you up?
In Tata's car.
And you said Tata, and I know that you know him as a nickname. Is that Tyfa McCray?
Yes.
I'm going to show you. Remember, this time we put into evidence States Exhibit 27.
Okay. You're moving it in? Or-
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise?
No objection.
Mr. Petratus?
No objection.
Okay, admitted.
Miss Bentley, I'm showing you States Exhibit 27. Do you recognize him?
Yes.
And who's that?
Tyfa.
Tyfa. And he's the person you know known as Tata, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you know Tyfa McCray?
Through Aaliyah.
Through Aliyah? He was friends with her? And and other than knowing him through Aliyah Albritton, had you met him before?
No.
And was he driving a car?
Yes.
What type of car was it?
A Nissan Altima.
What color?
Black.
So they came and picked you up in St. Augustine,
Yes.
and you guys came down to Tampa.
Yes.
Was there an Airbnb that they were staying at?
Yes.
Was there a celebration or a party that was going on at the Airbnb?
Yes.
Do you remember where the Airbnb was located?
Not really, because there were multiple.
There were multiple Airbnbs, is that correct?
Yes.
There was a different one Friday night as opposed to Saturday night.
Yes.
So going to Friday night, did you go to the Airbnb Friday night?
I was there.
How many people were at the Airbnb?
Just me and Aliyah and the girls and the guys that were there.
Were one of those guys Charles Jones?
Yes.
Had you known of Charles Jones before that trip?
Known him? No.
Did you know of him?
Yes.
And how did you know of him?
He's a rapper in Jacksonville.
And you, from being in Jacksonville with family and friends, you were aware of Charles Jones as the rapper Foolio, is that correct?
Yes.
Had you listened to his music before?
No.
Had you, you said that you didn't know him, you just knew of him, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you went to this Airbnb Friday, you were introduced to him, is that correct?
Yes.
And you said there were some other girls there? And were there some other men there as well that you did not know?
It was just me and Aliyah and one of our friends and just the guys that were there.
Okay. Was there a party, when you moved to the second Airbnb, did you go to that Airbnb as well?
I was there.
Did you have bags with you?
Yes.
And at some point, did you go into a room so that you could get ready for the night?
Yes.
Was there a party that was going on at the Airbnb that you had moved to with Charles Jones on Saturday, June 22nd of 2024?
Yes.
And in that party, can you tell us approximately how many people were at that party?
I don't know. I wasn't a part of it.
You kind of kept to yourself that night?
Yes.
But there were quite a few more people there than who was at the original Airbnb on Friday night, is that correct?
Yes.
At either one of the Airbnbs, were there any issues, any sort of fights, or any trouble at the Airbnb from the people that you were there with or that Charles Jones was there with?
No.
Did something happen at the Airbnb on Saturday night with law enforcement?
I just remember we all left, I guess because there was a lot of people there. It's an Airbnb.
Eventually, you had to leave the Airbnb, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you have to get your bags and take it with you before leaving that Airbnb?
I actually didn't get a chance to get my bags.
Do you think somebody else was responsible and was able to get your stuff for you?
Yes.
And did that end up in one of those 3 vehicles that was with Mr. Jones?
Yes.
When you were at that Airbnb, was Aliyah Albritton there as well?
Yes.
And what about Tyfa McCray?
Yes.
Did you know the names of any of the other guys that were with Charles Jones?
No.
Had you met them before?
No.
Had you ever hung out with them previously?
No.
So you were just there because of your friendship with Aliyah Albritton, is that correct?
Yes.
Some point during that day on Saturday, did you go to the store and run an errand for Mr. Jones?
Yes.
What did you do?
We went to Walmart to go buy a speaker for the party.
Did he ask you to do that?
Yes.
Did he provide you with funds to do that?
Yes.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And other than that interaction with Mr. Jones, did you have any other interaction with him?
Not really. No.
Do you know approximately what time it was, or were you keeping track of time that night, Saturday, June 22nd of 2024?
No.
At some point you said that you had to leave the Airbnb, is that correct?
Yes.
Who did you leave the Airbnb with?
The people I came with, Aliyah and Tyfa.
Aliyah Albritton and Tyfa McCray, is that correct?
Yes.
And whose vehicle?
Tyfa's.
Where did you all go?
We went to, I think we went to the first club.
The first club?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was a first story club, correct? That wasn't on there wasn't a building with 2 stories, is
I
that
think
correct?
so. It's hard to remember, sorry.
And how long were you at that club?
I don't know, I couldn't keep track of time.
Were there
Wasn't for
others?
long.
That's okay. Were there other members that came from the Airbnb with Charles Jones to that club with him, as well as you and your friends?
I guess so. I'm just there, I was just there.
I understand. And at some point, do you go to another club?
Yes,
And when you go to another club, are you in the same vehicle with the same people?
yes.
Who is driving?
Tyfa.
Tyfa McCray?
Yes.
I'm going to introduce into evidence Judge State's Exhibit 29A through R.
Any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
Briefly, Judge. No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Petridis?
No, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Ms. Albert, I'm sorry, Ms. Bentley, I'm going to ask you to look at the screen, and I'm going to show you 29A. Are you familiar with that black Nissan?
Yes.
And is that the vehicle that you described that you got picked up in that belongs to Tyfa McCray?
Yes.
And you said that he was driving, is that correct?
Yes.
Where were you seated?
At first I was behind the passenger seat of the car,
Okay. And where was Aliyah Albritton?
in the passenger seat of the car,
Passenger seat of the car, front or back?
front.
Front. And were you in the back?
Yes.
And so you went to the second club, is that correct?
Yes.
And you said you don't know how long you were there.
No, ma'am.
Was Charles Jones at that club?
Yes.
And at some point, you left that club, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you leave with the same people
Yes.
and in the same vehicle?
Yes.
Where did you go after you left the second club?
I think that's when we went to the hotel, maybe.
Okay, that's what I am asking you about. Who went to the hotel?
It was me, Aliyah, Tyfa, and everybody who was with Mr. Jones.
And you were in the same car with Tyfa McCray in the black Nissan?
Yes.
Was Mr. McCray, was he driving that vehicle?
Yes.
And were you in the same position that you were previously when you went from one club to the second club?
Yes.
So you were in the back seat, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Jones, he was in another vehicle?
Yes.
And in it, there were others with him in that vehicle, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you know, or were you familiar, or did you know his girlfriend at that time?
No.
Did you know that there was another car that went to the hotel along with you, your car, Mr. McCray's car, I mean, and Charles Jones?
I just remember it being like the car that we were in and 2 other cars, which was Charles Jones and whoever it was.
That's what I'm asking. There was
Yes.
one other vehicle besides the car you were in and Charles Jones.
Yes.
So 3 cars total, is that correct? Okay. And what happened when you got to the hotel?
I guess they were there trying to get a room because it was late at night and everybody was really tired and it was too late to get on the road. I really don't know what happened from there. All I know is I sat in the car and I almost lost my leg.
I'm going to go back just a little bit. At some point, does Aliyah Albritton, your friend, and Tyfa McCray leave the vehicle?
Yes.
Why do they leave the vehicle?
Aliyah needed to use the restroom.
And at that point, are all the cars in front of the hotel
Yes.
just sitting there waiting for a room? Is that correct?
Yes.
So Aliyah Albritton, your friend, and Tyfa McCray get out and go to use the restroom. Is that correct?
Yes.
What do you do at that point?
I took initiative and got in the front seat of the car.
So now you're sitting in the front seat.
Yes.
And what happens when you're in the front seat of the vehicle?
I just remember looking down at my phone. I looked out the window. I was on my phone for a second, and when I looked back up, that's when I just started seeing bullets flying past my face, and that's when everybody started shooting and all that.
So you were hearing shots, is that correct? Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it. I didn't see anything though.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna ask you. When you heard it, what did you do?
I immediately, I looked for the keys in the car, and I didn't see anything.
When you say you didn't see anything, did you see any of the shooters?
No,
Did you know where the gunfire was coming from?
no.
And what did you yourself do at that moment?
I couldn't find the keys, and I prayed until I could find the keys, and the car cut on. I still didn't see any keys till that very day.
But the car was able to start?
The car was able to start, and I tried to make it out as soon as I could to save myself.
And so you left, is that correct?
I did.
What happened as you were leaving the parking lot?
It was just a lot of commotion going on. It was a lot of chaos. It was very chaotic. I just remember leaving the hotel. I remember stopping at a light, and that's when I realized, like, that's when I got shot. And, you know, you see a lot of gruesome things. And that's when I tried to just calm down and realize my adrenaline was up there. And I had to realize, like, just calm down. Like, I called Aliyah, told her, hey, I just got shot, and I need you to take me to the hospital.
Okay. And were you able to get a hold of her on the phone?
I did.
What did you do after you got a hold of Aliyah Albritton on the phone?
After I got a hold of her, I basically turned around. I went back to the hotel just to make sure that they were okay. And I just looked out just to make sure nobody else was there. So it was clear for me to go and make sure that we were okay for them to get me to the hospital.
And when you say they, who are you referring to?
Tyfa and Aliyah, just making sure that they were okay.
When you got back to the hotel, did they get back into his vehicle?
Yes,
And what happened?
we went to the hospital.
When you got to the hospital, what were you treated for?
Gunshot wound.
Where was the gunshot wound?
I got grazed and a gunshot wound in my right arm.
Were they able to remove all of the bullet?
I don't have any bullets removed out of my arm.
They're still there, is that correct?
Yes.
Were your parents also in Tampa that weekend?
Yes,
At some point, did you get a hold of your parents to come pick you up?
I did.
Prior to, and did they eventually come to the hospital?
They did.
How long would you say you were at that hospital?
I was there for a couple of hours. They wouldn't let me see my parents for a long time. So we were there for a while.
At some point, did an officer from the Tampa Police Department come and meet with you?
I remember a police officer did come in, gave recognition, but I just I don't remember what he asked me. I was worried about myself more than worrying about talking to others. And you know,
Were you upset at that point?
yes,
Did you want to talk to law enforcement?
I didn't want to talk to anyone at all but my family.
You wanted to see your parents, is that correct? I'm going to introduce into evidence State's Exhibit 28.
Okay, any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise?
No objection.
Mr. Petridis?
No objection.
Okay, admitted.
Ms. Bentley, State's Exhibit 28. Is that a picture of you in the hospital?
Yes,
And can you tell us which arm was shot?
my right arm.
And you said your parents did come and retrieve you from the hospital, is that correct?
Yes.
Who was at the hospital with you when you were at that hospital?
Well, at first it was just me and Tyfa in there first.
You said Tyfa
And then
McCray,
my
is that
parents
correct?
came.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know what happened to Aliyah Albritton in the vehicle?
No.
Were you wondering where Aliyah Albritton was at that point?
I was wondering where she were, just to make sure she was okay, but I don't know.
Show you States Exhibit 29A again. The black Nissan Altima that belonged to Tyfa McCray. Do you see this damage here to the front of the vehicle on the right-hand side of the picture,
Yes,
which would be the left-hand side of the driver's side of the vehicle?
yes,
Was that damage there prior to the shooting that occurred at the hotel?
no,
Also going to show you States Exhibit 29B, the driver's side. Do you see the damage and the paint transfer here?
yes,
And again, was that damage there before the shooting
No.
that occurred at the hotel? How did that occur?
I'm assuming from all the chaos.
All the chaos? Then I'm going to show you States Exhibit 29C, the back of the black Nissan Altima. Do you see these two bullet holes on the back rear shield window?
Yes,
Were those there prior to the shooting?
no,
And Ms. Bentley, you are not a part of any gang called Six Block, is that correct?
no,
Not a part of any ATK
no,
or 1200?
no,
You are familiar with the rivalry between Six Block and ATK, is that correct?
I don't know anything about none of that.
Do you know about it just from the music that you listen to in Jacksonville?
Yes,
But you yourself have never been involved in any of that, is that correct?
yes,
And other than knowing Aliyah Albritton is the only reason you were at that hotel in front of the Home2 Suites when that shooting occurred, is that correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
The only reason that you were with that group and at that hotel is because of Aliyah Albritton, is that correct?
Yes,
Your Honor, may I have one moment?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time we pass the oh, I actually do. I have one more thing.
Okay.
We're going to publish 26B.
We don't have it, the clerk doesn't have a 26B that's been admitted.
22B6. I apologize. I'm going to stop the video right there. You see on the screen, can you tell us the vehicle where the gentleman in the blue shirt and the lady in the pink outfit, do you know who those individuals are?
yes,
And is this the black Nissan that you have been testifying to that you were in and that you were in the back seat?
yes,
Okay. And is this what is occurring when you said they went to the restroom?
yes,
And did you see a hand come out and shut that front driver's side door? I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. Did you see that?
yes,
Okay, and who's that?
me,
And you are now, where are you now in this time?
I'm in the passenger's, well, in the driver's seat of the car.
She answered.
I'm just waiting to, for it to go forward before I asked another question. Is that you then driving?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see the other car that goes into the driver's side door?
Yes.
Is that when the damage to that side of the driver's side panel of the door happened?
Yes.
Your Honor, this time we pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sonardi,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ms. Bentley, you did not know anyone named Sean Gathright, correct?
I know who that is.
Right, and you never even had heard that name until you heard he was arrested in connection with this, correct?
Yes.
And you knew, as we've heard this afternoon, you knew a lot of the people who were down here in Tampa, right?
No.
Okay. Well, we heard about the people you did know. You definitely knew a handful of people at least who were there that night, right?
No.
Okay. Well, specifically,
Besides who I came with.
Okay. That night, you didn't hear anyone who was in Tampa who went by the name Fat Boy, right?
No.
Okay. And you don't know anyone who goes by the name Fat Boy,
No.
all right? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Petridis?
Briefly, Your Honor.
Just briefly, ma'am, just so I'm clear, when you were in the back seat when they pulled up to the hotel and they got out to go to the bathroom, did they ask you to go to the bathroom too?
I don't remember.
Okay. And did Miss Albritton ask you to get into the front seat, or is that just something you did?
That's something that I did.
She did not ask you.
No.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, redirect?
No redirect, Judge.
Okay, this one is be excused.
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You're free to go. And also remember to state, return the evidence to the clerk. All right, who's your next witness?
Judge, the state is calling Audra Agramonte.
Okay. All right, and this is, I believe, another witness who does not want their identity broadcast, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good.
Turn this back to the elbow. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this class will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your full name for the record.
Audra Agramonte.
Ms. Agramonte, back in June of 2024, did you live in Tampa?
No.
What city did you live in?
Lake Worth?
Were you visiting Tampa June 22nd of 2024, going into the early morning hours of June 23rd of 2024?
Yes.
Why were you here in Tampa?
We were moving my daughter into the dorms at University of South Florida for her first semester of college. And with myself, was my husband, Nestor Agramonte, my daughter, Alyssa Agramonte, and her boyfriend, Braden Smith.
Where were you staying at during the time in Tampa?
Home2 Suites across from campus?
Okay. Is that the one located on McKinley Drive?
Yes, I believe so.
And you said across the campus from University of South Florida?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you about the early mornings of June of 2024, June 23rd of 2024. Do you remember what hotel room you were staying in?
Yes, it was on the second floor, and I believe it was room 230.
And who was staying in that room with you?
It was myself, Nestor, and Braden.
Did anything unusual happen in the early morning hours?
Yes.
Tell us what happened.
Sorry, it was a really scary night. We were sound asleep around 4:30 in the morning. I heard popping noises. By the time I realized what it was, thinking it was maybe gunshots, Braden, who was in the bed on the other side of us, pulled me down to the ground and shielded me. Right at the same time, my husband went and looked out the window, saw there was a bullet that hit the window, so he yelled for us to get down. And of course, we were already down at that point.
Was your daughter at the dorm rooms at that point?
Yes, she was.
After that happened, did you try to get information and make some phone calls?
Yes. Yeah, we called 911, we called the hotel lobby and USF campus police because I was really worried about my daughter.
At some point, did law enforcement respond to your room to take photographs and collect evidence?
Yes, they did.
I'm going to show you what's already been introduced into Evidence States Exhibit 19A. Is this the door or photograph of the door? And I'm going to blow it up for you so you can see it because I know the number is small. Is that the door of the room that you stayed in?
Yes.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 19B. Is this a picture looking in at the room that you were in?
Yes.
And you said that there were 2 beds, is that correct?
Yes.
Which one were you and your husband in? And let me show you 19C.
So we were in the bed that was closest to the window.
And then Braden, and what was Miss Braden's last name?
Smith?
So Mr. Smith was in the other bed, is that correct?
Yes.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 69. What's that a photograph of?
That was the bullet that hit our window. And then, I don't know if you can see it there, but there was some like bullet fragments on top of the AC unit.
I'll show you 19F. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
And then 19G, is that a close-up of what you found on the AC unit after the shooting?
Yes, it was.
Did you and your husband also rent a rental vehicle to help move your daughter into her dorm room?
Yes, we did. It was a minivan.
And what color was the minivan?
I think it was a tan color.
When you and your husband were going to leave, was there damage that was seen to the minivan?
Yes.
And was that also reported to law enforcement?
Yes.
I'm going to show you again what's already been introduced into evidence. States Exhibit 16A. Is that a photo of the minivan that you and your husband had rented?
Yes.
Then I'm going to show you 16C. Is that the license plate in the rear of the vehicle?
Yes.
And was there damage to that license plate?
Yeah, right on the queue, that's where there was a bullet that went through.
I'm going to show you 16D. Let's zoom it. One second, let me zoom it a little bit. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
And did the bullet actually penetrate into the interior of the vehicle?
Yes, it did.
And was there damage to the interior of the vehicle?
Yes.
And at some point, did crime scene investigators from the Tampa Police Department, did they respond to document and photograph all of the damage, the exterior as well as the interior of that vehicle?
Yes, they did.
Your Honor, at this time, we pass the witness.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Gonzalez?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sonardi?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise?
No questions.
Mr. Petridis?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, may this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am, you're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, who's your next witness?
Officer Craig Douglas.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this class will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
Okay, you may proceed.
Please state your full name for the record.
Craig Douglas,
How are you employed?
Tampa Police Department.
How long have you been with the Tampa Police Department?
6 years full time.
Were you working on June 23rd of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you respond to the Home2 Suites located 1606 McKinley Drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you respond to that location in reference to a homicide?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there another hotel that's located right next to the Home2 Suites?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the name of that hotel? Do you remember?
I don't remember the name of that.
That's
hotel.
okay. What time did you respond to that location?
Approximately 6 a.m. in the morning.
What were you assigned to do when you arrived?
To go check for surveillance video at Home2 Suites.
There were already law enforcement officers working the crime scene at that point?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you assist detectives in obtaining that video footage from the Home2 Suites?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there cameras in the interior that covered the interior of the hotel as well as the exterior?
I'm aware from the interior should be the interior and the exterior.
Okay. And at some point, did you contact homicide detectives and let them know that there was video footage and your observations of that video footage?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you also assist in searching part of the property for shell casings?
Yes, ma'am.
What part of the property did you search?
That was the southwest corner.
Southwest
There's
corner?
like a fence line.
Okay. And is that of the Home2 Suites?
Yes, ma'am.
Because there's two hotels.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were tasked with searching the southwest corner, kind of the perimeter of that hotel, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
During your search of that area, did you locate anything?
Not along the fence line.
Was there a Tesla that was located in the parking lot?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make any sort of observations of the Tesla? Was that near the location of where the shooting had occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you assist the homicide detectives by locating the owner of the Tesla?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Were you able to provide that name to Detective Kirkpatrick of the Tampa Police Department,
Yes, ma'am, I did.
the homicide unit, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
During the course of the investigation, was there a hotel guest by the name of Braden Smith who came in contact with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember what room number he was staying in?
It was on the second floor. I think it was 230.
230, second floor?
Exact.
Okay. At some point, did you do a formal interview of him?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there anyone else that was staying in that room with him?
His mother-in-law and his father-in-law.
Okay. Would that be the Agramontes?
Yes, ma'am.
After coming into contact with Braden Smith, did you yourself go up to room 230 on the second floor?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you have crime scene units respond to document the scene?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Was there any items of evidentiary value that was collected from that room?
There were bullet fragments.
I'm going to show you what's already been introduced. Again, 19A, showing the door of hotel room 230. Is that the room that you responded to after coming into contact with Braden Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
You said that there were bullet holes and bullet fragments, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 19D. See the evidence marker 69 in this photograph. I'm going to show you a close-up. 19F. Are those the fragments that was recovered by Tampa Police Department crime scene?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm also going to show you States 19E. Is that a close-up of the window that was overlooking that air conditioning unit?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, after having crime scene document the photographs and collect the evidence, did you also brief Tampa Homicide as to what occurred in that room?
I think I did, ma'am. I can't remember for sure.
Okay. Would you have written it up in a report as well?
I probably would have.
Okay. All right, may I have one moment, Judge?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, we'd pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sonardi,
No questions.
Mr. Wise,
No questions.
Mr. Petridis. May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, sir. You're free to go.
Thank you very much.
State, do you have another quick witness?
I do, Your Honor, but I don't see the interpreter has arrived yet, so this might be an appropriate time for a break.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we'll take our